Well, just like that, another month has went by in the stock market, and I still, up until this day, have been purchasing thousands of dollars every single month of high quality dividend paying stocks and ETFs, stacking more and more shares in my long-term portfolio, as you can see right here, which as of right now, on an estimated basis, is currently paying me around $89,000 per year in dividends, or around $7,500 per month on average. Now in this video, I want to go through and share with you guys some of my largest purchases I've been making over the past 30 or so days. And I also want to go through my entire portfolio, break down what I'm holding right now, how many shares of everything, and give you guys an entire picture of what we're working with. So if you're interested in seeing the behind the scenes of a 7-figure portfolio and going through my actual buys, make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. Real quick, for those that haven't already, make sure to go to the first link in my description and grab my new dividend investing ebook, where I share exactly how I went from $0 invested to now earning over $6,000 on a monthly basis and over $1 million invested in the market. Along with the ebook, you're also going to receive my custom dividend tracker, where you can track your dividend progress on an ongoing basis and reach your dividend investing goals. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. So this right here is inside of one of my larger portfolios. For those of you that watched my videos before, you guys know I have multiple different brokerages, but this right here is one of my main brokerages I trade on, and this is where I've been stacking up the majority of shares of different stocks and ETFs consistently. Now I also been buying a ton more stocks and ETFs and other brokerages, and over the past 30 or so days, I purchased in excess of around $7,000 or $8,000 of new positions in my portfolio. But to give you guys an idea of what I've been buying as of recently, on the 23rd, I grabbed a share of AIPI. It's one of the REX ETFs. It's the AI Equity Premium Income ETF. It's a newer ultra high yielder that I'm interested in. I've been buying a share or two here and there, nothing crazy, but this ETF definitely caught my eye, and I did grab a share on the 23rd. Then on the 27th, I bought a share of DIVB. This is a super high quality dividend growth ETF. I've talked about it now on the channel, and is definitely up there in competition with things like SCHD, FDVV, or even VYM. I then grabbed another share of one of my favorite long-term buy and hold positions, EPD Enterprise Product Partners. It's finally starting to drop a little bit in price, so I did grab a share in this portfolio. Then before then, I've been buying a ton of FEPI. I bought 5 shares of FEPI on this day. I bought a share on this day, 2 shares, 3 shares. I've been buying a lot more FEPI as of recently. The ETF now has been trading for around a year, and honestly, it's done pretty well. Still, overall, I have a very small position, which you're going to see in my portfolio in a second, but FEPI has been catching my eye also. Next, I grabbed 2 of my favorites, GPIQ, the Goldman Sachs NASDAQ 100 covered call ETF. I also grabbed another share of GPIQ a day or two before then. GPIQ is finally below my cost basis, so I'm able to dollar cost average down a little bit. And GPIQ is definitely one of my favorites in the income space, although I personally think that GPIQ also has some upside. And then also grabbed some more Goldman Sachs, but GPIX, that's the S&P 500 version. I grabbed 1 share here, 1 share there. I've also been grabbing a lot more shares of these on my other portfolio also. Then I was super excited to grab a share or 2 of Main Street Capital. I bought a few more shares this month. Main Street Capital is still pricey. It's still in the 50s. I really hope to see Main Street Capital dip at some point here so I can load up and grow my position overall. Then I grabbed a share of QQQY, the NEOS NASDAQ 100 high income ETF, another one that finally is below my cost basis, so dollar cost averaging there. Then ever since SCHD split, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've been going a little bit crazy. I normally buy 1 share of SCHD every single day, which I guess now is technically 3 shares, but just like I was talking about, now that it's split, it feels so much cheaper. So now instead of buying 3 shares, which would be 1 share, now I'm buying 4 shares on one portfolio, 3 shares on another portfolio. I'm buying much more SCHD as of right now than I ever have before. To give you an idea, just on this portfolio, I bought a share, 2 shares, 4 shares, 6 shares. I bought 3 shares, 2 shares, 2 shares, 1 share, 1 share. So a lot of SCHD just in this portfolio alone. And keep in mind, I hold a lot of my SCHD not even in this portfolio. So ever since the split, I have been getting a little bit excited and buying a ton of shares of my favorite dividend growth focus ETF. But that's not all. I also been purchasing a ton more SPYI, 2 shares here, the NEOS S&P 500 high income ETF, still one of my favorites. Their distributions have been massive. The ETF has been very stable, one of my favorites. I really hope this ETF keeps doing what it's been doing. Then I grabbed a bunch more SPYT. This was sort of a starter position early on, but now honestly, for every month that goes by, for these more income focused ETFs, as long as they keep trading well, I'll dip my toes back in the water and grab a few more shares. Again, nothing massive, but SPYT is one of my new favorites. I grabbed 10 shares this day, 8 shares that day, 1 share, 10 shares, 2 shares. So SPYT also has been on my radar as of recently, and I have been grabbing more shares. Then lastly, in this portfolio, I grabbed 3 more shares of ZIVB, 3 more and 2 more. Now, ZIVB is the ETF that shorts the volatility index, so it's going to be risky, I know this, but the distributions are juicy, and I really think that volatility is going to be sort of mellow, at least for a while now. But that, for the most part, has been what I've been buying. Like I said in my other portfolios, I've been buying some more realty income, I've been buying a ton more SCHD, things like SPYI, but more or less the same. So now lastly, I want to go through my entire portfolio, do a kind of a portfolio overview. And honestly, I like to do these every month or so just to kind of break down what I'm holding on to and if I change any positions, etc. And keep in mind, guys, you can grab the same exact dividend tracker. It's the first link down below in my description. But as of right now, I'm sitting at 1,763 shares of BDJ. I did grab some more BDJ this month, a few shares of one of my smaller portfolios. We got almost 1,500 shares of Devo still. We have our 1,262 shares of Verizon stock. We have our 1,001 Apple. We still have our 2,734 qyld. We now have 2,711 of Realty Income. jepi, we have 1218. EPD, we have 749, which I do think I have to update this, so I did buy a few more shares. We still have our 700 BST. We have our 510 JEPQ. We have our 14 ZIVB, which I also think I have to update. I did buy a few more, as you guys saw. We still have our 246 New C. We have our 194 XYLD. We have our 2140 SCHD. We have our 311 Ultra Group, our 262 Triple N REIT. We have our 100 JP Morgan, our 293 Vici. Then we have 59 Kinder Morgan, our 282 shares of Main Street Capital. We have our 351 of WB Carey. We have our 47 PNW. We have our 255 Tesla. We have our 24 UPS, our 20 PBA. We have our 18 ABR. We still have our 16 EXR. We have our 17 SPG. We have 674 SVOL. We have 9 shares of Stag. We have 8 shares of T-Row. We have 19 KMB. We have 3180 VNQ. We have 200 KO. We have 700 PSA. We have 749 SPYI. Then some of the newer guys down here. We have 12 shares of FEPI. We have 2 shares of DGRW. We have 4 shares of FDVB. We have 12 shares now of VIG, which is super exciting. We have 257 of SPYT. We have 24 PepsiCo. We have 41 T. We have 1 DIVB. We have 51 QQQI. And we have our 2 shares of AIPI. So that for the most part is where the portfolio is at and how things are sitting as of right now. Keep in mind this dividend tracker as of right now has not been 100% updated, but as of right now for the most part that's what we're looking at. Now moving forward up until the end of this year, I'm going to continue to buy more Realty Income. I want to grab some more JEPQ hopefully if it dips, and then of course a boatload more of SCHD. I want to buy some more Main Street Capital and more or less the same exact names that I've been buying over time. Now, I'm also probably going to dig a little bit deeper into some of these ultra high yielders just because I not only find them a ton of fun, but certain of the ultra high yielders, take SPYT for example, which offers a 20% distribution rate, or even something like AIPI, which offers a 30+% distribution rate. Certain ones of these ultra high yielders, I honestly believe in. I don't know if they're going to do well, they could do bad, but I honestly believe in some of them. But for the most part, the portfolio objective for me at least is the same: buy into high yielding or low yielding dividend paying stocks as long as I believe in them long term and as long as they have the potential to grow over time. So now that we went through some of my $7,000 to $8,000 purchases as far as stocks and ETFs over the last month, and I gave you guys an entire portfolio breakdown, I want to hear from you. What's the #1 position you've been stacking over the last month or so? Whether it's a stock or an ETF, drop the ticker symbol in my comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.